$150 brand new Steely Dan albums coming soon. Told you. Hi, vinyl community. I'm Robert Fithen, and here we are, just like I said. Before I start the video, though, I would like to apologize. You may have seen my videos about a month or so ago when the whole Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab controversy was going on. I made a couple of videos. And of course, the Mobile Sound Fidelity Lab controversy was it was discovered that there was a digital link in their whole production thing for over a decade. They had been, putting a digital link in there. Now, in a normal world, all of these self-described audiophiles online would have been shamed by them because they were always saying things like, I can sniff out digital, I can tell if it's digital, and I got trained ears, and ooh, yeah, anybody that doesn't collect audiophile, analog-only recordings and has digital in their vinyl collection, they're just hoarders. That's an actual quote. You're just hoarding if you have digitally referenced records. You're not a real record collector. That's an actual quote. Another one, my favorite quote, my heart can tell if it's analog. No, your heart can't. No, you can't. And no, you don't have golden ears. You've been outed as a total bullshit artist with 14 years of digitally referenced Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab recordings, just like everybody knew. Now, that's that. Now, what I want to apologize for is my optimism. In one of those videos, the one that's called What Now or What Next or whatever, I said that now that these people have been exposed, maybe we can start bringing down the bullshit in the vinyl community. Come on, let's all do it. Let's all bring down the bullshit. Let's all stop lying about, well, we can tell if it's digital, all that bullshit. Let's just bring it down. And when you bring down the bullshit, almost 30 years in radio, and that's a lot of marketing and all that. When the bullshit comes down, then the record prices will come down. High bullshit, high record prices. I believed in people. I had a little bit of faith, and I just want to apologize for that. I'm not usually that optimistic. My optimism was totally inappropriate, completely uncalled for, as optimism usually is, and I promise not to do that again. But, after all these people had been exposed, I got a little excited. My head went up in the clouds. I might have been on some ocean-grown sativa or something that made me believe in people, but I promise that is not going to happen again. So I just want to apologize for that to begin with. Now, what I said was, all this bullshit going around is just that's why the record prices are so high. That's what you can blame it. Let's all bring down the bullshit. Hopefully, maybe you've seen that video. People were like, yeah, I want a t-shirt that says bring down the bullshit. Well, if you've been paying attention, unfortunately, not only was the bullshit not brought down, but completely anti-intuitively, it was ramped way up. We're in a situation where when someone gets exposed as a total phony and a total bullshit artist, that magnifies their credibility for some reason. Which, by the way, I'm making videos in the United States, so if you're in another part of the world, please comment. This is a real question. Is this happening all over the world, or is this just an American thing, where somebody's exposed as a total phony and a liar, and that only makes people more interested in them and their credibility goes up? Is that just America now, or is that every place? Because I know it wasn't that way here, 20 years ago. I mean, that's a thing that's going on now. It's like a Dukes of Hazzard, with Boss Hogg, the city slicker, going around fooling all the rural town people, and the only ones that got it figured out is literally the Duke family and their friend Cooter. That's where we are. And so I don't know if that's a world thing, so please, if you're watching somewhere besides the U.S., let me know if that's going on all over the world, or if it's really just an American thing, or maybe just a North American thing. Maybe it's happening in Canada and Mexico too, who knows? So leave me a comment. But yeah, this is what's going on. The bullshit way up. And now we have $150 new releases from Steely Dan coming soon from Acoustic Sounds. And just like I said, high bullshit, high markup. Now these self-described audiophiles, who in any other time and place would be shamed and no one would be listening to them anymore because they got outed as, total full of shit. No, now they're showing up on seemingly any stream that will have them. Everybody's like commenting, and oh, he's the guy that got outed as a total fraud. Let me hear what he has to say. Oh yeah, I want to know his opinion. Again, totally anti-intuitive. I don't understand it, but here we are. And so I just thought I'd make a video, just kind of like a told you so. Told you so. Here we are, $150 Steely Dan albums coming soon. Now, when I say fraud and fakes and total full of bullshit people, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the audio, I'm not talking about Acoustic Sounds people. I'm not talking about that Chad guy. He makes videos and is very upfront about the whole process of making the record. It's all right there. He's got a very high quality product. He puts himself in the videos and makes himself, he's confident enough in his product and his company to make himself the face of the company. Got to admire that. I'm not saying he's a bullshit artist. He's a salesman. He's running a company. But he is profiting from your bullshit. Make no mistake about that. But he's trying to make $1 in a quota. I mean, that's business. He's a businessman. I'm not talking about record label execs. I've worked with those guys for, like I said, over 2 decades. I'm not talking about record store owners. These are business people. They understand if you've got a $100 product and people are willing to pay $800 for it, you're going to charge $800. And then you find out a little later, damn, these motherfuckers they'll actually pay $950 for this. Then you will charge $950. That's business. That's simple business. I just don't want to be misunderstood. When I say fakes and phony audiophiles and people who've been outed as full of shit, I'm not talking about record label people and I'm not talking about record store owners. These are business people trying to put roofs over heads, clothes on backs, foods on tables, cocaine on mirrors, whatever they're buying. That's business. That's the way it is. If you're upset about record prices and you're the one going out buying $150 records, make no mistake, it's your fault. They'll go like, oh, no, it's your fault. You are doing this. They are going to charge what you are willing to pay, which leads to my next question. What's the number? What's the number? What is it? What is the number that is your jumping off point for something like this? Now, let's not get off track. I'm not talking about 5 LP box sets where it's like 4.5 hours of playing time. I'm not talking about super deluxe box sets that come with a hardback book. I'm talking about your average 40, 45-minute album coming out brand new from the factory, $150, which, by the way, is a 25% markup from the prices they were charging just a month ago, $120 to now $150. And if you think it's going to stop at $150, you're crazy. Okay? They're going to keep going up and going up, which leads me to my question, what's your number? At what price do these have to be before you're like, all right. I'm tired of being made a fool of. I'm tired of having my intelligence insulted. That's too much. I'm out. I'm not paying that. That's ridiculous. What's the number? Put it in the comment section. Is it $300? Is it $550? Is it $1,200? $26,000? What is your number to where you're going to finally be like, enough? And I'm sure the people at Acoustic Sounds are like, yeah, what is that number, by the way? But yeah, what's your number? Please I don't need a big, long explanation. What's your number? What is the highest you are willing to pay for a 45-minute album coming out on some audiophile label? And I don't mean to single out a particular label. They're all Look at the record store releases. That's what happens. One starts it, and then it's a chain reaction. It's like other business people will be like, well, they're willing to pay it over here. We'll charge that here. And then we'll charge that here. And then you get into the used market, where people are like, oh, well, they're paying that. Well, they'll pay this for a used record. And I've got my next video is literally going to be a tour of Memphis, Tennessee antique shops with laughably overpriced used records. And when I say used records, I'm not talking about some rare sealed pressing from 1966 where there's only 50 copies and this one's autographed. That's obviously not what I'm talking about. Again, brand new releases right from the factory, 40 to 45-minute album. I don't care how many discs it's on. I don't care if it's on 45 RPM discs. I don't care if they're going back to putting one song on every record like they did in the 30s with the 78s. It's a 45-minute listening experience, tops. What are you willing to pay for that? What's the highest you will go? Because I guarantee you the price will get there eventually if we don't start bringing down the bullshit. Spoiler alert, we will not start bringing down the bullshit. And that's another thing. You may be one of those people like, well, that's $150. $150. Nothing to me. I'm Thurston Howell VII. My great-grandfather sweated so I could buy these handbags and glad rags. Don't make my great-grandfather sweat for nothing. There's a difference between being wealthy and just having too much money. It's not about having a bunch of expendable money. I could buy all these Steely Dans if I wanted to. And there are people who are very proud to go on Facebook and be like, I've already pre-ordered all 8. Jesus. Calm down, man. Let's not let everybody know How big of a fucking fool you are. By the way, speaking of fools, if you want to see a fool, go back to my video where I'm all like, maybe people will wake up and start bringing down the bullshit. I mean, I have faith in people. What a fool. I was a fool, and I will openly admit that. I'm trying not to be such a fool anymore. I let that optimism slip in, like I said. I apologize for that. But yeah, let's keep ramping up the bullshit. We'll keep ramping up the prices for Steely Dan, and you got to get this one. This is AJ. I mean, you got to have some AJ in your. This is the one, man. This is a horrible album, but everybody's gonna want AJ. AJ. In the Bronx, where the people are fresh, there was only one album that would pass the test. When you're looking for a stereo, you know they're gonna have this in the record store to display. AJ. AJ. Don't bother Googling it. It's Curtis Blow. And yes, I realize this is supposedly pronounced Asia, but in this house, it's AJ. We don't do pretension here. What I want to know is how much technique is involved in going to be reproducing this incredible gatefold. I mean, that's black text on a white background. I mean, you can see the quality here. How are they going to do this? I talked about, this is the worst gatefold of all time. I talked about this in another video. You know, you have basically a jizz fest here of this nobody critic here just going on about how awesome every song is. Then you have a nice, cute little love letter from the president of the record company. How sweet. Talking about how, oh my God, this is incredibly awesome. This is after you've purchased the record, by the way, so it's not an advertisement because you can't open it until you've already bought it. But yeah, I hope they're able to faithfully reproduce this wonderful gatefold here. I mean, I did realize after I made that video that this is a band that is named after a dildo. So actually this whole thing kind of actually makes sense when you think of it that way. But yeah, this is the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab version. And I don't know why. The complaint when this came out is we didn't need it. Because, like I said, the original sounded so good. It's what all the stereo salesmen had in the stores to play, so that every single turntable, no matter what it was, would like blow you away. Because this is really just known for sound quality. It's not a really good album at all. It's like some jazz rock bullshit, and the only good song on here is Peg. But I digress. But yeah, so yeah, AJ is going to be definitely in there. But if you're one of these people that have ordered all of them, and you're going to end up with the Royal Scam as one of your $150 albums, please do me a favor and make a video of that. I mean, I realize this is a CD, so audiophiles, look away. But yeah, please make a video about how you've spent $150 on an album called The Royal Scam. That's too good. I'm a big fan of unintentional humor. I'm a huge fan of of organic irony. And don't reference this video. Just make a video, total straight face. Yes, I'm so happy to have my Royal Scam album for $150. And there's all kinds of bullshit about why they're so expensive. I mean, one of my favorites is, well, we have to track down the original masters, and that takes money. We're not talking about a 60s garage rock band here. We're talking about Steely Dan. Okay, very established for their audiophile quality. I'm sure the masters of these have always been accounted for somewhere, sealed and locked in a vault. And well, unless they were burned up by a roofing crew that was totally incompetent. I mean, this is MCA Universal after all. But anyway, so yeah, if it wasn't burned up, they know where they are. It's not like they had to hire 6 detectives to find some obscure 60s garage rock band masters that turned out to be locked in a shed in southern Ohio, and you had to go down on somebody's great-grandmother to give her the key. And, oh, goddamn, which wrinkle is it? This is ridiculous. I'm charging $150 for this. That's not the case. We're not talking about original masters from Poother Unlimited or something. It's Steely Dan. Come on. You knew where the masters are. It was a matter of going and getting them. Come on. But yeah, $150. Tried to warn you about Gino and Daddy G, but it just, obviously it didn't take. And now here we are. And it's only going to go up and up and up and up until a mass of people start just saying no. So yeah, that's my thought on this. And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. High bullshit, high markup. That's really the only equation you need to know of why these are going to be $150, and they're basically a 20% markup from next. I mean, can you imagine the meeting? They don't show those videos. I mean, they show the videos of manufacturing and people, putting the record in the sleeves at the factory and the pressing and all. They don't ever show the meeting where they're trying to decide the price point, though. That's not going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, Steely Dan. They're calling this group yacht rock now. Now think, what kind of people have yachts? do we really want to stop at $150? Well, we could actually charge more when we do the 33 and a third versions. Well, actually, that doesn't make sense because... okay, good point. Yeah, I'm assuming the meeting went a little bit like that. But yeah, people very excited about these Steely Dans. Can't wait to fork their cash over, whether they're wealthy or whether they're making toast on a radiator. So it's not about having a lot of money. It's just about being gullible, basically. I mean, it doesn't really matter how much money you have. So yeah, Steely Dan coming. People very excited. You're like, I haven't been this hard since prom night when I was a chaperone. So, you know, that's you. Just know you're the reason these are so expensive, and everything to follow is just going to be more expensive. All the antique malls getting into the action. $100 Rolling Stones third pressing, some girls. Again, my next video will feature all of that. Thank you for watching this video. Please comment. What's your jumping off price point? Please comment. When somebody is kind of shamed for being outed as a complete fake and phony, does that bring up their credibility where you live, or is that just an American thing? Couple of things there to answer. And if you just want to insult me, of course, you can just say, hey, you're a poo-poo face, or oh, there's the Kiss record back there. Don't forget to, hey, that's what I would expect from somebody who's got Kiss on the wall. Great, that's a great, woo, that's a good one. Man, I really felt that. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, because there'll be people who don't like it because they don't like to be like called out like that. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. Keep those great vinyl community videos coming. Always enjoyable. And for God's sakes, if you are spending $150 on something called the Royal Scam, please make that video. I mean, can't buy a thrill. There's a little bit of a joke there somewhere. I mean, if somebody said Katie said that these were all worth it, you go, well, Katie lied, but I don't know what, is pretzel logic a real thing, or is that just an album title? Is it like a pretzel logic, like if you fold something over itself and pull it, it becomes tighter? I don't know what pretzel logic is, but please, if you're buying the Royal Scam for $150, make that video, please. I'm Robert Fithen, and thank you for watching.